Hi, this is Shawnee Maurice from Hihu, where we look back at landmark games in the past and see how they hold up to current industry trends and standards. Today we look at Psychonauts, directed by Tim Schafer, who's well known for creating these great games with a unique comedic style. But when compared to modern mechanics, level design and story, how's it hold up 11 years on? I never played the game back in 2005, but after playing it I really wish I had. This game kind of feels like it was created by the same team that created RL Monsters. The art style is unique, the comedic timing is perfect, and the script overall is just spot on. The game feels like one long episode of a running series. There's a summer camp for kids, training them to become psychic spies, also known as Psychonauts. Raz, the main protagonist, has run away to join the camp and partakes in some of the camp's training. But when the other kids' brains start to go missing, you are the first to investigate. Starting the game, the very first cutscenes. Before I even had a chance to play the game, I was in love with it. I hadn't even played this game and it was reminding me of old cartoons I grew up with.
Excuse me, were you talking to me?
Ow! My ears!
I'm sorry.
Oh my god!
Are you okay?
He's dead.
Oh geez, I'm sorry.
Don't worry, every member of the Resistance is prepared to die, fighting the tyranny of Kochamara.
What's Kochamara?
He's a giant monster like you, Goggalor. He brainwashed and enslaved almost everyone in Lungfishopolis.
That stinks.
The game takes place in the camp as an open world, and each mission takes place in the consciousness of various characters. Raz throws a door into their brain, jumps in and rummages around until he fixes whatever's going wrong in their head, generally altering their opinions to allow you to progress the story. Fuck Inception, this shit is actually good. In the first mission you are introduced to the platforming controls and also to the collectibles. I generally dislike collectibles, and at the start I liked their concept. Instead of say coins, you'd be collecting figments of imagination from whoever's brain you're in. Sometimes you'd actually have to find the right name tag for emotional baggage, which was actually crying baggage, and chasing and unlocking these pig-like safes which had these mini slideshows giving a little bit more of a backstory to the person's brain that you're rummaging around in. I initially liked these features. They have other collectibles in the real world too, but they felt a little bit unnecessary. However, after a few missions I got bored of the collectibles as there were just too many and I stopped trying. They didn't really achieve a whole lot or added greatly to the progression of the story, but I do commend them for trying to make things a little bit different. In terms of combat, you gain a few moves as the game progresses. Early on you have pyrokinesis, you can levitate, and you also have a general melee attack. After each mission you gain other moves such as invisibility, telekinesis, a shield and so on. I tend to complain about the ratio of fights to platforming to boss battles, but this game got it right. Every level felt like it had the right amount of enemies with the right amount of difficulty as my powers progressed. The amount of powers I had also allowed me to experiment with my style of play. I really liked it. It was simple and it worked. I'd say my only gripe would be sometimes the auto lock feature was a little bit shitty, but overall I didn't have many problems. I think the strongest thing about this game were the individual missions, as each mission takes place inside a different person's head, making the game constantly new and exciting. It made me fucking love this game even more. One moment you were playing as a piece on a board game, talking to the other board game pieces. Another moment you were trying to figure out the conspiracy behind the milkman and his whereabouts. And the next minute you were a giant monster in a city occupied by fish with a few rebels aiding you to overthrow the government. Variety like this is something you rarely see in games these days. In the tradition of third-person platformers, at the end of each level you'd fight a boss. All of these are very unique in their own right and no two are the same. A few felt a tad lazy in terms of their design and a few were really well made. I have to say my favourite would be the Den Mother. Turning off the lights and making me fight the boss through the eyes of the boss was something that I've never seen. I really wish other developers would look back at this game in terms of boss battles and use them as references. So many devs get it wrong. This game fetches for around $10 on Steam, but how does it hold up today? Really well. I had so much fun playing this game. Sometimes there were camera bugs and sometimes the auto lock would fuck up, sure. I also found the PC port isn't the best, and sometimes even on my meaty PC I'd experience lag. I'd simply have to turn off the effects to prevent the lag altogether. But overall, I think this game is really great and I cannot recommend it enough. It's aged pretty well, and I think due to the delivery of the story and the variety in the levels, it has to be one of the best third-person platformers I have ever played. This is Shawnee Maurice from Hihu. Thanks for watching.